Hello everyone and welcome to Andrew's Art and Models. Well, today I have the kit review of the Hobby Boss VK-4502 Vorne in 135 scale, and we're going to cover this. Yes, I've done a kit review on the Hintern recently, but before I open this and we go through it, I want to show you the build of the Hintern. So I'll just move that out of the way. There we go. And this kit, I have to say, is absolutely amazing. I loved it. The detail on the parts is lovely. Very few seam lines. Very few parts that need fixing flash wise, and it went together very well. It is fiddly and tricky because a lot of the small parts, but generally speaking, it is easy to put together, and the instructions are quite clear for most of it. So I thought I'll just show you everything here. I'm doing both of these tanks at once. So this is pretty much ready to be finally assembled. I'll get some of the final assembly done and then ready for painting. But I thought just on this one, even though it's not required for the builds that I'm doing, but I thought, yep, we'll do the internal just to see how it comes out, and it was really good. I like it. The only parts on this kit, and it'll be the same on the Vorne, that I'm a little bit annoyed at is just the injection pin markings on the underside here. I'm going to have to fill those because you will see them after we put the turret together. So essentially that goes over the top. That sits in there. And we have our gun assembly. And we'll just zoom in on that. Sorry, everyone. There we go. The gun assembly. Now, I haven't tidied up that barrel or anything. There's meant to be a little bit here, but I'll fix up that. But you're not really going to see it anyway once it's put together. And I've gone with the kit barrel on this one. And we're going to just see how that comes out. It should come out pretty well. But the detail on these parts was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I'm not looking forward to building another one though. It is very time consuming, and we'll just bring out the last difference between the two kits other than general shape is on this one here. You'll see they've on the grills for the engine deck, they've got a backing behind them. On the other one, you'll notice that they don't. But other than that, great little build, and we'll just cover the details of the other kit. And I'm just going to pause this whilst I get everything ready. And presto, the scene has changed. So we've got the Vorne kit here. Now, the packaging is virtually identical to the Hintern, so everything comes bagged. It's all nicely put together. You have the same decal set that's in the other one. You would have seen me cover that, and yeah, it's very, very basic. Same photo etch grill set, along with the ropes. Nice metal ropes there for the tow cables. And the instructions are almost identical again. So the biggest difference between the two is really the hull shape. So the other one has the hull at the back, has the turret at the back, but this one has the turret at the front. And the overall design of the hull is slightly different, but the running gear, so all the road wheels, drive sprockets, everything is all the same. The tool assembly is all the same, so it's all the same tool set. And the turret is identical construction, so there is no difference there. Tracks are all identical, everything's the same. So just going through these instructions, they look fairly complicated, but the sub-assemblies are really, really easy to follow, and then you put it all together. So that was a lot easier than what I was expecting. It still took a lot of time, but a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be. And yeah, really happy with how it came out. Looked really good. The instructions, as I said, identical. So the biggest difference between the two kits really is the hull. And for some reason they've decided to go with the empty on that one. I don't know why, to be honest. I don't really like being able to see into an empty area of the kit. So even with the mesh on that, that's still going to be visible. I'll probably put a backing behind that. So when I spray it, it's just going to be all black, and then put the mesh over it and then go from there. But you can see this has got a much larger lip around the edge than the other one did, and that's really quite different. The other thing with it is the way it assembles. So this has got a very neat seam at the back here. Comes over the top of the track guards there the same way, and the front is the same way. Now, I didn't notice it before, and I've noticed it obviously when I was doing the build. There's no locator pins on these, but that actually goes together very, very well. So that the engineering is such that it's very, very close fit anyway, even without the locator pins. So I was a bit dubious about that to begin with on the other one, but after I did it, I went, yeah, no, it's fine. Paint scheme, same. So just a German grey. They're really living it up to the modeller's imagination. And tracks, everything are the same. Now, this is one area where I was incorrect in the video. I was saying in the other video, I really didn't find any flash or anything like that, and I didn't, to be honest. However, on these parts, there is some, and it's going to be hard to focus on, I'm sorry. We'll just try that there. And so the track links here, most of them are fine, but occasionally you'll get a deformed one in these little sections there, and all you have to do is just clear it out. It is easy to do, and you just check it as you're going with the removing all of these tracks from the links, or from the sprues. So just check it as you go. And I didn't notice it at all until I went to assemble a track and it wouldn't click in. I'm thinking, oh, that's a bit odd, what's going on there? And that's when I noticed the detail there. That said, almost all of them were fine. There was only a couple where I needed to remove it, and it was very simple and easily done with a nice sharp blade. So once again, Hobby Boss have protected some of the more delicate parts of this, and there we go. Now this is, it sort of perplexed me on the other one as well as on this one, because that's really sort of mirrored over here, so I'm not sure why that section needs to be protected over that, but they've obviously decided that it does, and that was the same in the other kit as well. Tracks, running gear, all the same. Goes together very, very easily. Very few things to clean up on them. Once again, simple. Turret, identical, so we're going to gloss over most of that because it is identical in the other kit. And the sprues on here, or sorry, the parts on these sprues are fantastic. I did notice, however, there was a slight residue on some of these parts, so like an oily residue. So give them a good wash. I'll give these ones a good wash prior to assembling it. And the other ones I'll have to give a wash before I paint them, which is obviously a little bit more complicated. So a bit easier to do it when they're on the sprue, and I'd recommend that because there definitely was an oily residue. You would have seen some of it, what looked like some of it on the hull section in the other video, and I said it was my grubby fingers. Well, that was my grubby fingers, but definitely there is a residue on the parts that you'll feel, especially when you're doing the smaller detail parts. Your hands start to get greasy, and it's obviously, you want to be careful if you're putting paint down on it. You might end up with the paint lifting if the surface is too dirty. So this is something I rarely ever do when I'm building kits, is rarely ever need to wash them, but on this one I will give it a go just to make sure everything's fine. Same injector pins, I mean that's going to be exactly the same as on the other kit anyway. But yeah, detail, lovely. Really enjoyed building that. That said, I'm not going to be doing the internal detail on this one because I don't really need to, but I wanted to build it up on the other one, see how it came out. But yeah, very good. So the cupola, just on the building structure, the cupola is a little bit tricky. So on the underside here, you've got the vision blocks. So you put in 7 vision blocks. You then put in sort of like the brackets for the vision blocks. So they had this bracket they used to pull down to change the blocks out if they got damaged. So you got the brackets in there, and then on the top you've got another 7 bits. So it's on this part, sorry, another 7 bits you put over the top there. So there's a lot of parts in that little cupola, and it's just for the internal and external detailing. But it looks really good, and while I think of it, I will grab it from the other one so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see all those little parts in there. All right, now that looks a little grubby. but I haven't fixed that in yet. So that's a nice fingerprint in there, that courtesy of yours truly. And I'll have to sand that back and just tidy it up. But you can see all those little parts in here. And then on the top there, you've got those other parts. Another bit goes in here, and then that glues down on the top. There are no locating pins for this. So just be careful when you assemble it and put it down, just to make sure you get it right and give it plenty of time to dry, because you will knock it off. But you can see here, I mean, that I'm pretty certain is from me, but yeah, I'm just going to clean up the kit just to make sure that I don't have any problems with painting. The injection pin marks in here, I've left them. You're not going to see them once it's all put together. So I haven't bothered with those, and it's only a couple anyway. And then I've got to install the racks with the ammunition either side, and that's easy to do. So they are just like so, nothing too complex. These parts you go on quite well. So there's few locator pins at the back, and I just put a bit extra glue on the rear just to make sure that they were in position and they weren't going anywhere. And we'll install those once I've painted them up and got it all good to go. So yeah, there we go. That concludes the VK. Oh, I've got the Hintern box here because I've used the Vorne one, but you know what I mean. So that concludes the other ones. Obviously that's at the front. Yeah, Vorne. Good kit. Not the Hintern, the Vorne. Good kit. Loved it. Love making the Hintern. This kit is looking exactly the same. It is really looking just as nice. And looking forward to doing this one as well. So here we go. Hobby Boss, massive thank you. These are great kits. So I'm not sure if these are a reboxing from someone else or whatnot, but love them. Really, really good kits. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope these are informative videos for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you to everyone who's commenting, subscribed. Love it. Thank you. And don't forget, we have the monthly giveaways. So each month we do the scale model giveaway, and that's free to enter for everybody. So all you need to do is go onto that video, and I'll put a link below for that. And all you need to do is comment and be subscribed and like the video when you go into the draw. But yeah, Hobby Boss Vorne. Awesome kit. Thank you, Hobby Boss, and looking forward to getting these done.